Hey Internet, Eric here. Back again discussing the Kickboxer franchise. Yep, we have a franchise. There is seven, so I think it's a franchise. I'm just as surprised as you are. Last video I discussed Kickboxer 3. Sasha Mitchell is back again. Kickboxer 4, The Aggressor. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This came out in 1994. Now, okay, if you watched my Kickboxer 3 video, I explained how it was very interesting that between Kickboxer 2 and 3, David Sloan is no longer retired. He's the world kickboxing champion, and he is very good with automatic weapons, handguns, all that stuff. A lot must have fucking happened in between Kickboxer 3 and 4, because the basic plot of this is David Sloan has been in prison for 2 years. I don't know. He must have been helping the DEA or the FBI or some bullshit trying to track down Tong Po. Bad things happened. Someone was killed, and Tong Po framed David. Okay? Framed David. David has been in prison. Since then, and the rest of this movie is about Tong Po has kidnapped David's wife. Now, we never knew, so a lot must have fucking happened. Kidnapped David's wife, and she is now being held captive in his compound in Mexico. Tong Po is now a drug dealer in Mexico, has his own compound, and she is a sex slave, and he's also got a whole bunch of other sex slaves there. David gets out of prison, and he tries to, and apparently every year Tong Po has a tournament where the best fighters can come and fight each other. The winner gets to fight Tong Po and get $1 million. Yes, that's the plot. And David goes there, tries to sneak in because Tong Po somehow won't recognize him. And then defeat Tong Po and save his wife. Wow. Okay. Sasha Mitchell. This is his third Kickboxer movie. And man, you can tell that this guy is just not into it. He doesn't want to be David Sloan anymore. I don't know what's going on. I mentioned in my last video he was very hard to work with on Kickboxer 3, and I don't know if it was drug related. I know he was going through some personal problems with his wife, claiming spousal abuse, and then eventually he came out later and it was proven, or he at least says that she was the abuser, and who knows? I don't know if this was happening at that time. You can tell he's not enjoying it. He's just there for the paycheck. He is pretty dead in his acting. He isn't really too much into the fighting either. And it's disappointing because at least, say what you would about the non-Van Damme kickboxing movies, the action in the fights have always been good. And it is in this movie. Just, you can tell Sasha just didn't give a shit. Zian is not back. That is a downside. What other characters we have? Well, let's get to it. Tong Po. Tong Po is back. I think that is a picture of Michelle Kissy. That is not what we get. You can't really see it that well with this. But we get this dude playing Tong Po. Tong Po no longer has an Asian accent, because if you remember, Tong Po was from Thailand. No, I'm not saying he's American, but he doesn't sound like he's Asian. And the makeup they put on this dude to look like Tong Po is fucking awful. His eyebrows are awful. And he's definitely got a bald cap with the long ponytail, because even producer Rachel, when she was watching it a little bit here and there, a lot of the times you could see the bald cap moving. Like in the final fight between David and Tong Po, you can see it like not even on his head, just kind of jiggling. It's awful. They kind of explained it because he's also got some scars on his face. I mentioned the incident that happened that, Tong Po killed somebody and then blamed David for. Maybe that's how they explain why he looks so different. They never really said, but it's laughable. He is not scary in this movie. That's the main problem. Kickboxer, Tong Po was fucking frightening. Kickboxer 2, what little we got of him, He was frightening. We get more of him in this, and he is just a joke. He's not scary. I think a lot of it has to do with the way he fucking looks. Even when there's a scene where he rapes David's wife in the beginning. You don't see any nudity or anything like that, or anything real bad. He like rips her shirt and then starts like licking her or kissing her. But you're not intimidated by him. And then later he's a very lame. He just sits in a chair for the most part, or plays his fucking lute or whatever it is. Because like I said, he's a drug lord in Mexico. He's like fucking Scarface. He's got this huge mansion, and he doesn't do anything until the very end of the movie. And we'll get to that. The only other characters worth mentioning is there is a DEA agent who's undercover. He is like, I guess, the one that's going to help David. He's okay. He just gets the shit kicked out of him really bad at the end. He's fine. He strikes up a relationship with one of the girls. She's that girl. She's fine. She gets naked. Looks great. Doesn't really do anything in the movie. There is a I don't know how young she is. Does it say in the credits? Okay. Michelle Mouse Krasno? Apparently she's a martial artist. Her name is Mouse. I know she was on WMAC Masters for one episode. She tries to be tough. She's okay. She's not as laughable as, like, let's say the final fighter in Kickboxer 3. But she's okay. You know what I mean? She tries to be the tough chick and like, don't touch me, I can do it on my own type of stuff. She's okay. She gets her ass kicked a lot, but she's okay. Who else? Oh, shit. If you're a horror fan, Thom Mathews is in this. Thom Mathews, Tommy Jarvis from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, and also Return of the Living Dead. He plays, I guess you would say, Tong Po's right-hand man. Got an earring, got a dagger tattooed on his neck, kills people. He's fine just being a scumbag, you know what I mean? So he does his job, I guess you would say. So that's it, character-wise. Action is really good. The fights are really good. Well, 50-50. Let's get to the really good. David walks into a bar. He's on his way to Mexico. He walks into a bar, and these over-the-top fucking bikers. First off, the director has a thing for bikers. Like, before David goes to Mexico, he has to earn his way into the tournament. He walks into this warehouse where underground fighting is happening, and it's a kind of a lame fight, but to make it even more lame and laughable, while David's fighting, all the bikers that are watching start circling around, making, that whole circle so no one can get out. Laughable. But let's get to the good fight. Bikers are picking on Mouse, okay? That's what I'm going to call her. Picking on Mouse. And they don't give a fuck. Like, one of the guys is trying to pick her up, and she basically tells him to fuck off. He busts a goddamn beer bottle over her head and, like, shoves her on the ground. They start stomping on her. David walks in, and he kicks the shit out of everybody in this fucking bar. Like, even people that are not involved get hurt in this. Like, it's so over the top. He is, beating the shit out of people with pull cues and his fists. He's throwing people out the fucking window, and they're going through the window and landing on this poor bastard who's at a picnic table just eating his fucking lunch. Nobody is spared in this fight. It's like 5 minutes long. It's fun. It's goofy. It's unnecessary. It's fun. And then it's kind of ruined because Mouse gets up, she walks out, and David's like, a thank you would be nice. And she basically says, fuck you, I'm going to be in the tournament too, blah, blah, blah. She gets on her dirt bike, rides away, and you could tell it's not her doing the stunt because I don't know if it's a woman or not, or just a man with like cones stuck down in a bra or whatever. But the wig doesn't match. It's awful. So it takes away from that awesome fucking fight. When we finally get to the tournament, some of the fights are pretty good. Some of the fights are pretty lame. It's hit and miss, you know what I mean? It's trying to be blood sport, but it's failing miserably. The only intimidating, I guess you would say, fighter is this one dude with a bad glued-on fucking beard, and his thing is he either breaks their neck, or if he doesn't break their neck, his thing is they're on their belly, he gets on their back, and he like slams their face into the mat. So we think he's going to get his comeuppance. think. All right. So the fights are hit and miss. Let's get to the final confrontation with Tong Po. And Tong Po is in air quotes because, like I said, this guy is not Tong Po. He's fucking awful. All right. DEA agent, like I said, shit kicked out of him. David has beaten up everybody he needs to beat up. Sasha does his best in a couple lame fucking fights. Beats up the dude with a bad beard. Kills Thom Mathews. Thom Mathews has got the wife hostage. He throws a knife, kills Thom Mathews. All right, now you got this final fight with Tong Po. And Tong Po is such a fucking bitch. He is taking so much punishment from David. Beat to death. Well, he doesn't beat to death, but he's like getting beat to death. Almost no offense. Thrown up and down on picnic tables, this and that. Shit's happening. Boom, 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 boom. And then what I think happens is Thom Mathews distracts David. And Tong Po is able to run away. And that's when I said, knife to the head, bye-bye Thom Mathews. Wife is saved. Mouse is okay. DEA agent is alive. Okay, he was a likable character. And that's it. The movie ends right there. The fuck? Tong Po has had... and this is the fucking writer's fault. Tong Po has had David's wife captive for 2 fucking years. David was in prison for 2 fucking years. And there's no comeuppance. He literally runs away like a fucking scared little bitch. When, because Thom Mathews, distracted him. Awful. The dude with the fucking beard I told you who likes to slam their heads into me. After everyone's walking out, you see him getting off the ground. That fun motherfucker doesn't even get his comeuppance. He just gets beat up. So fucking disappointing. It's bad enough, that guy doesn't get beat up. But the fact that Tong Po, who's done everything to the fucking Sloan family, crippled Eric, eventually kills Eric, kills Kurt, kills Molly, beats the shit out of David before losing at the end of part 2. And then, like I said, causes David to be in prison, kidnaps the wife, rapes her most likely numerous times, and he gets away like a little fucking bitch. Awful. Now, but you know what? At least there's plenty of titties in this movie. So, Kickboxer 4, The Aggressor. It's not awful, but man, do I recommend it? Sure, because like I said, that fucking fight in the diner is amazing. You know what? It's not awful, but it is just kind of a disappointment. And I'm surprised that most people prefer 4 over 3. I guess I'm in the latter. Didn't hate this one, but man, what they did to Tong Po as a character, it just makes me sad. So that's it. I mean, watch the movie. If you've watched the first 3, you might as well watch the 4th one. If you have no interest, based on this video, just see if you can find the bar fight on fucking YouTube. So, like I said, characters are okay. Sasha seems disinterested. Fight scenes are okay, except for that wonderful fucking fight in the diner. And then I don't even want to talk about Tong Po anymore. So that's it. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Have you seen this? Do you want to see this? I ruined it for you. Do you want to fucking punch these guys for what they did to Tong Po? Let me know. Coming up soon, as of this recording, excuse me, this Saturday. Look, I'm getting all choked up because of Tong Po. This Saturday, God willing, 2 Bitter Losers, Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis, Steve Martin, Ellen Green, and the wonderful Levi Stubbs. And then we're coming down the wire. Redemption Kickboxer 5. Not even Sasha Mitchell would return. Godspeed and cheers.